Hey y'all, I live in the city of Chicago in the state of Illinois, right? And you all know that the troops have been deployed into Washington, and now they're talking about deploying them to Chicago because they say the crime is so high. Well, we all should take a notepad and understand that the Republican states' crime are higher than our state's crimes are. But here is where we allow things to happen before we get to a certain point that we could have avoided, right? You have a governor, you have mayor, you have a state representative, you have congressmen, you have senators, and you have aldermen. And each one of those positions hold a responsibility, right? You have the Cook County Board President, Tony Pretwinkle. And every alderman gets a report on thefts or anything that goes on in their community, right? So for me, when you see something is happening and you see something's getting out of hand, then that is your position to create a plan to cut down on what's going on. But now, because the dummy is one to put his hand into the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois' business, now you all are in an uproar. Well, you should have been handling that before we got to this point. And I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. That's for any state that's going through what they're going through. What you all have to understand, and what elected officials need to understand, the seat that you hold is the people's seat. It's not your seat. It belongs to the people. You are the voice of the people because the people voted your hiney into that seat. And anything that goes on in any city or state, whatever representative, whatever seat that you hold, it is your responsibility to create laws and whatever is needed to minimize what is escalating to, like crime and theft. But y'all don't do that. Instead of what you do, and I see Brandon Johnson being all over the place. But you instituted 100 more red light cameras in our communities that's already suffering financially. That's what you did. You took down ShotSpotter, which could have minimized a lot of things. So let's stop sugarcoating and pretend that something is not what it is when it is what it is. Simple. Take ownership. Y'all blew money. And you took money and you gave it to the immigrants instead of taking care of the homeless and the people in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. That's what you've done. Y'all put people in the seat who go along with y'all madness, who agrees with you. You don't want to do what's right, but you make sure your families are covered security-wise. Now I understand fully why you all need security detail. I get it. Because liars need to be covered. Cheaters need to be covered. Manipulators and deceivers need to be covered. So I get why you need security detail. But you know what? It's at our expense, the constituents' expense. And this is from the bottom up, from the alderman all the way up into the president. So I'm saying to each one of you, and you should say to each one of them, your alderman, your state representative, your Cook County Board President, or whatever state you live in, your congressman, your senator, your vice president, and your president. Y'all create a bill for this country, for these cities and these states. Got dog dig in your pockets, go on your account, and y'all foot the bill. Because I'm tired. I'm tired. We are suffering, especially black women, especially black people. Now, this ain't nothing new to us. It's not. Because we've been in this position 400 plus years. But what I'm tired of is the lies. What I'm tired of is y'all showing up at election time and you done been in a position for 3 decades and they made a bit of difference. That's what I'm tired of. What I'm tired of is what you doing with haircuts. You paying $10,000 for haircuts and you got all these luxury things, and we still have homeless people on the street. We still have women being abused. We still have children being kidnapped. We still have people being sex trafficked. Now, if you all don't want that stupid man coming down into your local neighborhoods, in your cities, in your state. If you're an elected official, get off your ass and do what you should have done. Institute some laws, change some rules. Stop walking around here talking about, oh, we need programming. Programming ain't helping. Programming ain't helping. Charity starts at home and spreads abroad. So if the parents ain't doing it, somebody needs to be accountable, because nobody should rent or own and be scared to walk the street. Nobody should have a business and be scared that they can't put stuff in the window. Nobody should not be able not to sit in their car. Children should not be in a position where they can't play outside freely. And the accountability goes on every elected official's head. You ain't gonna like this video, but it's true. It's 100% real. Y'all faking and y'all make false promises to constituents that you don't keep. And I say, and I'll still say, every elected official needs to have 2 terms, no more than 3. And after those 2 or 3 terms is up, then y'all asses need to be ejected from the seat. You know why? Because you all get too comfortable. You forget about the promises you made to the people. Or you have selective amnesia when you get in the seat. You go to your alderman, they tell you we can't do nothing. It ain't your seat. You go to the senator and your congressman, it ain't your seat. You go to your governor and your mayor. What y'all need to understand, it ain't your seat. You are the employee. We are the employers. Every constituent. And if y'all asses is not going to represent your constituents, then you need to be evicted from the seat. Nobody should hold the seat that they don't do right by the constituents. You got your wives, you got your grandmamas and your granddaddies, and you got husband and wives, and y'all batting together and all this stuff. And y'all attitudes are nasty. You're mean, you're cruel, and you're evil. And you take people who have a need to the limits to get something that's so small as a ramp, something so small as a turkey. Just simple stuff. You make them jump through hoops. You're getting all this TIF money, and you're not putting it back into the community in which you serve. I'm telling the constituents, this time, it's time to remove every butt from the seat that's not representing your voice. And ain't no sense of sugarcoat. If they're not doing what they need to do and they're spending that money wastefully and you don't see it in your community, ain't nothing getting better. You done been complaining about this. Our South and West Sides is worse. The streets, the alleys, the light up of the parks and everything. Abandoned garages, abandoned buildings. Y'all don't make the business do nothing. You let outside entities come in and purchase property and they don't do nothing with it. But it's a draw of unproductive activity. And y'all aware of this because the police department give y'all files and information. People, it's time to wake up. It's past time to wake up. You are the employer. They are your employees. Make their asses work. And I mean that.